Good morning guys, and welcome to iPunt Smart latest tutorial video. And we've done quite a few of them, but we keep adding new features, and therefore we have to keep on doing these. I did one an hour ago and it turns out that it was black because of showing you how to go over onto the iPunt Smart app so that you get the full screen that you see now. Unfortunately though, using the change to Ruby on the recording, it simply turned out black, so I won't be showing you that again. Instead, I'd show you while we start on that already, so hopefully now all of this will be clear and you'll have a proper picture. So let's go. So this is the dashboard. On the dashboard here you'll find 24 different sports, and you'll also find all the USA based sports here: the NFL, the Major League Baseball, the Major League Soccer, basketball, and the college football and basketball. So those are all at the bottom here. You'll see for each one the countries, the tournaments, the fixtures, and whether there's some greenies for today, for all the races. Your horse racing here, 69 runners, one track, but if you change that to the next 3 days, you'll get an outlook of the next 3 days. There's 4 tracks and 5 greenies. Greenies are good to bet on, so you'll see greenies everywhere. Basketball, 44 of them here. Baseball, there's one here. They pop up everywhere, and that's our algorithms that chooses them. 16 of them here in table tennis, 3 in volleyball, etc. They run pretty well. You could probably make a living just playing greenies. Anyway, so from the screen at the top you'll see there's our live in play, the new latest and greatest, and that's awesome. That's changing the ballpark. That's changing our odds and giving us the edge over the bookies. Then you've got MVP, which is your community's most valuable picks. Soon to follow will also be a follow the pro, follow the punter, with leaderboards of all the users and their picks for the day, so we can see who's the best in each sport. And yeah, so we can gamify and play, have a bit of fun here. Kind of TV games for adults that we're doing now, which is pretty cool. I like to be entertained. So yeah, at the top of your horse racing, if you click on horse racing, you'll go and see today's Kenilworth, tomorrow's Val, Fairview, Turfentine going forward, and also the back. We don't hide anything, it's all there, it's all in the past, but we can still access all of it. And if you've got the link to things 3 years ago, just with the date and the field, then it's still there, because we use all of them for our P-stats, probability stats. But we'll cover that in the horse racing tutorial. So let's start here. Here's our IPS picks for the day. Now, clearly IPS picks and greenies is slightly different. IPS picks actually does have odds for one, so you'll see the odds there. You'll see the difference between a pick and a greenie, in the sense of a pick is an orange bar on the left hand side here, where a greenie on the other side is a green bar on the side here. And if I can just show you, and if it's finished then it pops away and it disappears on us, but you'll see all the green bars here. Editor's picks you'll see in the form of an editor's pick, and there's a nice example of one that's live in play at the moment. We said it's going to be 3-1 for Mr. Pohorolowski in the Setka Cup, and he's currently leading 2-1, so that's pretty cool. But that's why the live in play is so awesome, because we can actually see when a guy is behind and he shouldn't be behind, and then the odds multiplies and we get awesome odds. So that's a pretty cool thing as well. But just on that, if the greenies are the ones with the green at the side, and the ones with the purple at the side is the IPS picks. There's slightly difference in the algorithms, so that's why we've got 2 sections. Then we've also got the MVP for the public that chooses their best one for the day. They're only allowed one, and that one must be locked in within 10 minutes before it starts, so they're not allowed to cheat on us. It has to be locked in, and once they've locked it in and it's within 10 minutes, they can't unlock it, which is pretty cool. And that's where we're going to start our leaderboards and all the rest, and see who's the big boys and who's the ones worth following, so we can create a community of winners. This view that you see here, there's 20 on a page, is just a normal standard view. If you want the detail view, very easy, you just click on the line and that opens up the detail view. Now your first thing that you need to know is, if you see red everywhere, it's away. red's always away team. If you see green everywhere, it's home. I'll show you an example of green everywhere, so it's easy to spot. That's green everywhere, that's home. Okay, that's red everywhere, that's away. And the blue portions that you see here is the head-to-head portion, when they played each other head-to-head. And in this case, the head-to-head has only been the one. That's why this history here is a 58-83 head-to-head. And that you can also see on the bar here with the purple that sticks out on the side here. You'll also see it at the bottom with the form of a dot. There's a dot, there's your blue dot, and if you click on it, it actually gives you the detail of the whole scenario. On the 18th of December, hey, that was only 11 days ago, these guys played each other, and yeah, away team smacked them 83-58. Today we predict 78-49 over here. So more of the same in this case for the Basketball Europe Women League. Now there's a lot of stuff to show here. First of all, let's just start here. If you want to add something that you want to put on a bet slip, or want to add into a multiple or a Yankee or a parlay or whatever the case might be, you can add them to your watch list first, and that will create your own personal watch list. And pretty cool. You click on that watch list there and you can see all the stuff on your watch list there. If you want to follow this tutorial, which will be the latest tutorial, you click on that button there and it'll pop up with the video that goes straight to the latest tutorials. The same in horse racing, there's a button for tutorials that takes you to the latest and greatest tutorials, so that me personally doesn't have to do it for 1,000 people individually, so that we can all just watch the video. And hopefully we can help each other to make some money in the process. So let's start with this screen that you're seeing in front of you here now. I've already said the green ones is greenies, the purple ones is IPS picks. Now to the right of that bar there shows three colors: green or yellow or red. Red means caution, yellow means fair, and green means good. So that's the amount of data that we've collected over this thing. So that's a good. Means the amount of data that we've collected here was sufficiently to have a very good reliability factor. That's what that essentially means. Okay, then on the right hand side here of each one, you'll see the actual prediction as the score, and then you'll also see these kind of things, 13-2. Now those are the major impact categories, or the mix I call them. Now the major impact categories are, amongst other things, there's 15 of them: the 1 year RSI figure, the head-to-head minus the relative strength index end figure, the head-to-head minus the relative strength index net figure, the head-to-head start figure, the head-to-head end figure, the head-to-head net figure, the RSI start figure, RSI end figure, RSI net figure. A lot of things to consider, but okay, let's just start there with what is head-to-head. Head-to-head is when both teams play each other. In this case, there's only been one of them, and that one of them was that dot I showed you there, and the score was 83-58. So head-to-head sorted. Your head-to-head start figure and your head-to-head end figure is the same, because there was only one, and that one was a 25-point difference between the 83 and 58 here. So head-to-head start and end was 25, therefore there's no net because there's no change. RSI on the other side is a way more complicated algorithms that we work on. So RSI, these things you see at the top here, all of these are based on 24 months. Okay, so that 24 months means the actual prediction is based on 24 months. However, you'll see at the bottom here that we break up every single month individually. So that's the overall prediction, and this is when you want to look at each and every month individually. So when you start at the 24 months here, then you'll see the exact same as what you see on the overall prediction, because quite simply put, that 24 months here is the same 24 months we reflect here. Each one of these dots that you see at the bottom here reflects an event where the home team and the away team played against the exact same opposition. These blue lines you see here is the number of months away, and how we can't fit them into the graph changing all the time. So what we've done is every time when you change your months, then your graph changes accordingly as well to show you all of these dots. Now if I look at all of these opposition that both teams played the same opposition. The qualifying criteria is that in that 24 months, both home and away has to play against the same opposition. If in that time frame they don't play against the same opposition, then they are not part of relative strength. What that means is sometime as you go closer and closer to 1 month, some of these oppositions will fall away because, quite simply put, in that time frame they did not both play against each other in the same time. So therefore you'll find a lot less games, not only because of less time but also because of less same opposition. Now on the 24 months you have a info bar here that says a 24-month RSI, Relative Strength Index. The advantage is an 18 or 17.95 advantage in basketball. The chance for the away team on the relative strength is to win is 59.09%. And in this time, there's been home played 8 games. They won 2, lost 6. Away played 14 games, won 7, lost 7. So to get to that 59% is a quite simple calculation. The total is an 8 on this side for home and a 14 on this side for away. That gives you 22, and the home chance of losing was 6 out of 8. That gives you that 6, and the away of winning was 7, so that 6 and that 7 together is 13, and 13 out of 22 would give you this 59%. The same on the home side. Home has won twice and away has lost 7, so that 2 plus 7 gives you 9, and 9 from the 22 gives you that 40.91%. Okay, then you have a overall average, and we expect the overall average in this case to be a 60.5 versus a 78.44 on relative strength only. You can see it's quite similar to this overall projection here, but then you also on the side of that have a home average now as well as an away average now. So that's pretty cool, because that also helps with your total points, with your total basketballs, total rugby points, total goals, etc. on a month-by-month basis. So here in this example, we see over the 24 months, home's average was 56.75 versus 78.63, playing the exact same opposition as away did during those 8 games. Away, on the other hand, has an average of 69.29 versus 73.22. So away is losing by only 4 points, where home is losing by 22 points. So the difference between the two is the 17.95. So that's pretty easy and simple, and quite easy to understand. Now you know what that bar is about. Now, once you know what that bar is about, what all of this in the bar is about, so this says this home has played 8 games against the same opposition, won 2, drew nothing, because you don't draw in basketball very often, and lost 6. Away on the other side played the same opposition 14 times, won 7, lost 7. The average score was 60.5, 78.44. Home's average was 56.75, 78.63. Away's average was 69.29 against 73.21. Now, that's great. Now let's just break this down a little bit. At the bottom here, you have a graph, and this graph changes whenever you go from 24 months all the way down to 1 month. So if I simply click on the 2 month, you'll see the graph has changed completely, and now all of a sudden this info bar has also changed, because now we're only dealing with 2 home games and 2 away games, and which is every dot is a game. So there's a game and there's a game. If you hover over it, you'll get the details of each and every one of these games, what the date was, who they played, and what the differences was, and whether it was home or away. How do you know it was home or away? Quite simply put, if you've got a red around your circle, it means the game was played away, and if you've got a green around your circle, it means the game was played at home. Quite easy, because we said everything in green is home and everything in red is away. So trying to stay to that same principle, this number 1 here was a home game, because it's the home game that played home, because the green is in green circled. Here is the home team that played away, because the home is got a red circle around it, so the home team played away. Here you've got the away team that played away in this example on that dot, because the red dot, which means it's the home team, got a red circle around it, which says the away team played away. Now the interesting fact here is that you can clearly see that red's the champion here, red's the winner. But as we move along on these, the graph will change just purely based on how we do the algorithms on momentum and moving averages and stochastics and all the rest, but you don't need to do the details of all of that for us to get to that prediction. What I would like to show you though is on the 24 months, when we get to all these dots, you can take out all these dots and make these graphs a little bit easier for you, just simply by taking out the ones that you don't want. Okay, so now you've got the curve, which is moving much quicker than the momentum, because the curve is a much faster algorithm than the momentum. So just showing you that from the sense of only a away team, you can clearly see, let me just take out the dots here as well. You can see here that that is the momentum that goes all the way straight line, but you see the curve immediately starts making a change. You see that curve is so this is the complete average momentum of that curve that changes all over the place. The same with the away side, exact same applies. So I can do that, and I can do that and that, and you see the curve is a little bit more consistent for the home team, but they are consistently bad, unfortunately. But you do like this consistency, because if this curve stays very on top of the momentum, it means that you've got more consistency, really. So you can on your computer, PC, laptop, change these and switch these on and off. Now JavaScript actually handles what you can see and what you can't see. So if you look on a mobile, you don't have a big screen, so you won't have all the functionality on your mobile, clearly because it doesn't all fit onto a small screen. So I prefer you look on a laptop or on an iPad or something to that effect. That'll definitely help you to see better. Here at the top we've got a home start and a home end. So this is the minimum range home should get. This is the maximum home should get. This is the minimum away should get, and the maximum away should get. And this is the minimum overall and the maximum overall. So that defines your ranges and helps you with your total goals, total points, above goals, below goals, basketball points above and below, and etc. All of that stuff, because those are the ranges that helps you. But to help you with that as well, we can do that on a month-by-month basis as well, just by simply checking here what your home average is and your away average is and your total home and away is. So does help you a lot with your total points scenarios when you look at these things in that manner. Remember that all of these dots has the actual game with all the details, the opponent, what the date was, what the score was, and what the net difference was between the two. But coming back to these indicators here, what we call mix, the major impact category players, I'd like to show you just the example of how we get these figures. Now earlier on we said the head-to-head figure was an easy figure because it was only this dot 83 to 58. So that is the 25 we're talking about, and there was one only in the whole 2 years, so that's the start, and there was only one in the whole 2 years, so that's also the end. And that's why we get minus 25 with a net of 0. On the RSI side, we're not that lucky, so we get a whole lot of data, and this is where you just need to concentrate for a little while. So what I would like to do for you is just take out all the extra stuff that we don't want to confuse you with at the moment. So I'll take out all that stuff, and now we're only stuck with the momentum bars for home and the momentum bars for away. The momentum bar for home is this one, as you can see the name, home momentum, and the away momentum is this one, which you can see away momentum. Now how do we get to that 12.92, which is the RSI start, which is the difference between home momentum and away momentum that started 2 years ago, 24 months ago. Here we see a figure of minus 7.98 if we hover over it. Here we see a figure of minus 20 if we hover over it. The difference between these two is simply a positive 12.92. Now, so we know where the RSI start comes from because that's the positive 12.92. Same applies at the other side, the end. So the RSI end figure, we find the end year of away being 14.09 and the end figure of home being minus 32. So clearly the gap, this spike changed a lot. And the difference is now minus 46.65, and that gives you the total net figure of the difference between the start and the end, therefore 59.57 to the away team. Clearly in basketball, dealing with 59.57 is quite a huge difference. Hence, we would expect the away team to definitely win because the momentum's with the away team as well. Now let's see if we can confirm that to the most recent. And if we look at the most recent, then you'll find that in the most recent, say 3 months, minus 27, 58-point chance for the away team to win because the home team played 6 and only won once, and the away team played 6 and won twice, and the difference is a 27-point on average for the away team. But the thing that's a little bit more nicer than that even is this new indicator. You'll see this 0.012 at the bottom here. Now what that means is the top one is the RSI win draw loss indicator. So that simply tells you home has won once and lost 5 times, and away has won twice and lost 4 times. The below one, the new one, which I call the Rsi Balance Indicator, is comparing each and every one of these little dots. Now if you see number 1, then it means the green one relates to the red one because that's when the same opposition was. So this number 1, for instance, Geberstes Wilnis, agrees with that number 1 there, which is also Geberstes Wilnis. And this indicator says if both of them played the same opposition, who did better, and whoever did better gets the point. So if you did the same, then it's a draw, then it goes into the middle. But if away is won on all 12 of these dots, then away gets all 12 points, and therefore 100% for away. Now take it in an example like Man United plays Chelsea and Arsenal plays Chelsea. Now who of Man United or Arsenal did better against Chelsea? If United did better, they get the point. If Chelsea did better, then they get the point. But if they both did the same, in other words, say both of them drew or both of them won by just 1 goal, then it's a draw. But if United won 2-0 and Arsenal won 2-1, then United gets the point because United won better than Arsenal did. So that is this new indicator, the RSI Balance Indicator. We will add this to the filters as well soon, and you can use those filters because each and every one of these these major impact categories, each and every one of them we also can use filters on by month to actually go and filter all our different games to the ones that we just really want to see. So let's do that. Maybe in the sports section when we go to the actual games. Let's go to football. Let's use football as an example today. And football's pretty cool because everyone loves football. And you see there's a game finished just now. Energetic versus Ishluch. We predicted a 2-1 and it was exactly that, 2-1. You'll also see when it's in orange, then the game is now finished and there's a dot and we say it's correct. But you'll see the red ones here is actually currently in play. That's the score, 1-0. Those are still 0-0, 0-0, 0-0, and I'll get back to that soon when we talk about the in play. And this is where we kill the bookies, completely kill them. They have absolutely no chance really against you. But let's not look at that now. Let's look at some of these games here, like China Super League. Here we have a prediction of 3-0. You'll see the odds has been put 1.45 or 45% return. So quite decent chance for a red or away team to win here. I do agree with that. And we've done something special for you now that's in the new version as well, which is pretty cool, which will give you the stats specific to the sport, specific to the tournament. And that helps a hell of a lot because on top of having all these different indicators, we now tell you what the probability is of each of these indicators when we compare those indicators versus the result for this exact tournament, specific to this exact tournament. So what you see here is we've done 48 games in the China Super League. You'll see that 48 there as well. We've had 58.33% of them correct, so that already tells you we've done pretty well in football on China Super League because you do have 3 outcomes here. You've got a win, a draw, or a loss, and we've been correct in picking one of those 3 in 58.33% of these times. But the more impressive thing for me here is it tells us which one of these indicators was the most correct, the most times for this specific tournament. So in this case, you'll see the RSI start indicator was correct 72.92% out of those 48 games. And that was the goal difference in this game, minus 2.07. However, the RSI end was only correct 64.58% of the time, which is pretty cool, because that actually means that our both of them agrees, they're both red, they're both away, which is cool. So, and then the head-to-head was correct in 50% of the chance, which is again cool because red's again the same team, and then the head-to-head end was correct in 58.3%. So clearly all of these reds agree with each other, and you've got a clear probability of which indicator is your strongest, and in this case your strongest is this RSI end figure of RSI start of 72.92, and that RSI start I've explained to you is this difference between this start and the green start. So not only do you get the graph, not only do you get the specifics for each and every month on the RSI and the head-to-head indicator, but now we also show you the exact probability for this specific tournament. So when you place your bet, when you look at your bets, you also know how good are we as iPon Smart in predicting the correct result for this specific tournament. Not just for these two teams against each other, but how accurate are we in this tournament as well. And that is pretty cool to actually be able to see that. So that's what these new thingies does here. You also just hover over them and you can see them quite clearly there as well. So those are pretty cool things, guys. But this, you can also see this gap is going bigger on the momentum. So the gap is definitely increasing here. So that's something I'd really like to show you as well. The other thing is you can, on your dates here, you can either do the next 3 days, or you can just, if you had a late night, you just want to start later, you say, okay, just give me the games from, say, 9 o'clock a.m. or, well, if you had a really good night, then from 3 o'clock p.m. and you apply them, and it takes out all the other games because you're now just interested in what's ahead of you, you're not looking at the past. So now you'll see that you've only got 6 pages here of data of what's coming to you. That's the one cool thing. The next cool thing is, yeah, maybe I'll just, before I get to those cool things, maybe I'll just get back to, sorry for going away a bit on that. And let's just use an example again where this was a nice little big gap between the two. So like a 2-0, yeah, that'll probably help. So I just want to, so that spike is a bit bigger there. So the next nice thing is, I've showed you how this RSI starts. That's how that RSI works from the start perspective. Now just to show you that again, just a recap maybe. You'll see the head-to-head here, that's the one that's up here. It starts at 0.55, yeah, that's the 0.55, and it finishes down at the bottom here on a minus 0.93, yeah, that's correct. So the net of these two is a minus 1.48. So we're already seeing that, yeah, the momentum gears here is going towards the away team. Now that is a concern for us, because the prediction is home. On the RSI side, we've started at almost 2 goals ahead, which is this 1.84 minus that 0.08, so that's the 1.91 we're talking about. And you can see this gap is narrowing down. So we've started at a gap of 1.91 goals, we finished at a gap of 1.43 goals. So you'll see that is happening. And that's why we can see the head-to-head momentum also going that way, because you can see that's where those lines are going closer towards each other. So it started off with green being very good, and now green is going, well, against the opponent is getting worse. They're losing their advantage against the opponent. So that's why we see an RSI start and RSI end, and the difference between the two is the net figure, which is important, and that's one of our major impact categories, because we would like to have all the categories agree with each other. However, we can clearly see that it doesn't, because 9.5, if it's a draw, then each one gets half a point. 9.5 to 5.5 just shows us, oh, okay, it's clearly not a conclusion that this team is going to win, because if he did, it would have 15 out of 15 major impact categories, but he's only got 9.5. So that means that he's given away 5.5 points. Now I can tell you already, that's a point, that's a point, that's a point, that's a point. So that's 4 points, and then he got halves on 3 other places to get to the 5.5. Okay, so that's important to note as well. Now, once you've got all of that, then we also do the head-to-head RSI as a net figure against each other. So that would be this head-to-head minus RSI start and end figures. So head-to-head ended at 0.93, RSI ended at 1.43. The difference of those two as an average is a positive still, because the 1.43 is more than the 0.93. So that would give you a 0.5, and that halved is a 0.25. Same on this side, the minus 1.48 and a minus 0.47. The difference between these two is an average of a minus a 0.98 between these two. So all of these things considered, I would still say home should win this, but the gap is getting more to the way of Interclub, of the away team, and therefore we have to be cautious. We also have to be cautious for the fact that in the last 6 months there's no data. So in this Republic of the Congo League 1 game at 3 o'clock, these guys has taken a break. The season is not start, so they're new in the season now, and that's why you'll see these gaps. So I'd be cautious on the games where there's big gaps like that. But just to show you further down, like here's an Algeria League 1 game. The odds is 3.4 for the team we're backing at to win 2-1. And looking at it like that looks pretty cool, because you see all the red here, and then when you look at these new indicators, you'll find that in 4 out of the last 4, the away team did better against the exact same opposition than what the home team did. So this is the kind of thing I think, wow, that's a nice return, and this looks good, the momentum looks good. I'm going to add that to my watch list. Okay, so now you can go and find it on your watch list when you start finalizing your bets. So that's pretty cool as well. Now, all these indicators that I've indicated to you here, you can also do all these indicators in your filter. Now, you can have many filters. You simply just create them and save them. So I've got lots of filters here. But what I do like about these filters is you just pick a filter, like I've got hot or strong or value. I'll pick them and I'll apply them, and I apply them down here, and today there's nothing of that one, so I can see, okay, where do I get my good bets for the day. There's one now that comes from my good filter, and that's Sporting versus Portimonense, and that's yeah, at 11 o'clock tonight, and you see this is all pretty good and pretty green. But yeah, the more filters you have, the more you can find these. Like even my buddy sends me filters, and that one doesn't qualify today either, but you can have them in here and apply them and use them. Now, what I wanted to show you about these filters is that, remember we showed that each and every one of these indicators has a name, and that name corresponds to each and every one of these filters. So when you only want to look at head-to-head start, or head-to-head end, or head-to-head net, or RSI start, or RSI end, or RSI net, you'll find these exact same things in here: head-to-head start, head-to-head end, head-to-head net, RSI start, RSI end, RSI net. Then the net indicator between the two I've showed you there: head-to-head minus RSI start, head-to-head minus RSI net, head-to-head end, and head-to-head minus RSI net. Now this figure, this one shows me where there's been a very nice climb of at least 2 goals in the net. That's the difference between the RSI start and the end, of at least 2 goals. And when the 1 month value on the RSI figure, so only looking at 1 month, when that 1 month figure is at least 1.1 goals, then you'll see, okay, so on the 1 month figure you have at least a 1.1 goal advantage. So that is also pretty cool. All of these filters, all of the MIG categories, all of these is in there, so you can use your points. Like we said, we've got 15 points. You can use your filters for that, or just a net figure between the two. Say if it's 9.5, 5.5, then you know your net figure is a 3. And these goals you can go up to as much as 2 goals advantage, and you can go your RSI months to as much as the 24 months that we have. So I would advise look at this 1 month, 2 month, 3 months, because that's where your most recent values comes from. On top of that, if you look into your total points category, then you can activate your points here, and you can look for your filters for total points for home, total goals for home, total goals for away, or in total, being over or under. So that means if you're only looking at home, then it looks at only the home being over or under. If you're looking at away, over or under, or you can look at it in total, over a specific, say if you want to bet on only the 2 goals, total being over 2 goals, then you can give yourself a nice little threshold, and you can say, okay, but I want a little safety net factor, so I want a safety net factor of 2 goals as well. Now you can take all these filters out, for instance, if you just want to play total goals, because there's lots of fun in checking out the goals, especially in football or rugby and stuff, to see the guys score and you're expecting them to score and they keep scoring. Or, well, if you're on the other side, if you're under, then you don't want them to score, but let the predictions guide you on that. So here we're actually looking for total goals of 2 with a threshold of 2, so that's 4. That's a big, so I'm just going to change that to maybe make that 3, so that we at least get something. Now we got a total of a 2 plus the threshold of 1 gives you 3. So we're expecting a bit of goals for those ones, and yeah, we actually got quite a few games where there is the 3. So I'm going to up that threshold now to 2. I'm expecting 2 with another 2. Let's see, there's a much less going to be showing now, because not so many qualifying on that anymore. And remember, that's also on the 1 month RSI figure. So what I'm saying is, on this we said you can pick this on only the 1 month or not, and whether that points active is applying to you or not. So that really helps you with the over and under on the goals side. What else can I show you? Okay, yeah, what I wanted to show you is in play. So in play is really cool. If you look at in play now, if I go to in play, you will find every single sports event that we cover, and we cover about 45,000 per month, maybe more even now, because we now got extra couple of sports that we added, 24 sports now, so could be closer to 50,000 sport games events now that we do per month. And here you'll see currently in the world we have basketball, we have football, we have table tennis. Hey, there's a greenie game being happening, or an editor's pick that's just happening now. Voloshko on 1405, they just started now. That's pretty cool. And then we've got a hockey game down at the bottom here that's also an editor's pick that just started 6 minutes ago. That's also still 0-0, so that's pretty cool. The nice part of this is you can look at your prediction versus what the real score is, and then you get way better odds if your team's behind and they should be winning. So I'm talking like multiple times better odds. So let's just have a few examples of that. So here we're saying, okay, home team should win, and yes, home team's ahead, so that's cool. Here we say home team should win, and yeah, home team's ahead, so yeah, that's cool. Here we're saying home team should be winning, and they are a few points behind. Well, now it's a few less, because you saw they just scored there. It was 61, it's now 62. But yeah, you see home team should be going. It's in the 4th quarter already, so we're getting to the end, and I'm also worried about this latest red side here. So I'll leave this alone. Oh, there they scored again. Now it's at 63, so they are scoring, and they're getting closer and closer to that winning margin that we want them to win by 4, but they're currently behind by 3. But in saying that, I'm still a little bit worried about this, but I'm happy about the 60% here, where home has actually got better recently. It's in red here because away is better, and then it goes into green because home's better. So if I just look at that last one, you'll see that 6 out of the 10, the green dots was better. But here, if I look at this one, then 10 out of the 18, the red dots was better. So that's what that's about. But here we go, it's 66 each. You see what I mean? Now all of a sudden, the terrible odds that you were getting for the away team to win and the really good odds for the home team has just been nullified by the home team storming into the lead now. They've made 6 points while we were talking here. So those are the kind of things that in play just changes the market for you, and the bookie has absolutely no chance against you in this, because in all the sports it really makes a huge difference. Here's another one. They're slightly 1 point behind, but they should be winning. Here they're 2 points ahead and they should be winning by 6, so that's cool. And here they should be winning by 7, but they are behind by 9. So that's the kind of things that I like. And now this is a China CBA, China Basketball Association, second quarter, so plenty of time left. We have 100% on the 3 months, and we have 100% all the way through to 9 months, where we have 83%. And you can clearly see that the away team is going, hey, bye-bye green, because this gap used to be where the green was better, but now the red took over a year, which was around the 20th of April 2021 this year, and the red has just gone bigger and bigger, the gap's gone bigger, and this RSI has gone better and better. So in this instance, I would really think that comeback is on the cards here for that China CBA game. So those are the kind of things that we're looking for. Those are the kind of things that really help down here. Yeah, some football games. Yeah, they already scored, so 1-0 up. But you try and look for the things where, yeah, see, the favorite was at 1.83, and we predicted the draw, and currently it's 2-0 here for the away team. Looking at the details here, I would be definitely saying that home team should score. I'm not saying they'll score twice, but they'll score at least once, because this portion here is also in green. And if I look at that portion here, you'll see home's not really good at scoring. They only score on average 0.5 in the last 4 games, but away is good at conceding. So this is home achieved, this is home conceded, this is away achieved, and that is away conceded. So that means away conceded, they do concede at least one, on average 1.25 in their last 4 games here, and we're having a 0 here, so I'm expecting them to score at least 1 goal. So BTTS is on, both teams to score is on in that game, and that's why live in play just kills the bookies. Here we had a 53% chance, which now it's almost half time, so you'll probably get about 100% now, but we're still predicting that they should win 2-0, but now it looks like they're going to be scoring in the second half 2 goals, because all of this is very green, but it's 0-0 at the moment, so that's a nice opportunity for Paikan. And so on and so forth. You can see all these beautiful, there you missed out already, Banderi already scored the 1-0 ahead already, and that was like started at 2 o'clock with 13 minutes past 2, so they already scored in that first couple of minutes. And this is the beauty and the power of the live in play functionality. You can sit here day and night, and these games just update, and you are every time multiple times better with the odds that you were getting before the game started, on everything, on total points, on total goals, on home team to win, on away team to win, on handicaps, on everything is awesome, is absolutely awesome. Your live in play will change your world for you. It is really potent. So I really want to show you that live in play, and that's the live in play function. What else can I show you? Yeah, your profile. So on your profile here, I've got a lot more profiles, because we're testing out this new virtual punter functionality, which is really cool, because we'll be starting soon on your virtual punter, where we've got this gamify thing where you and your mates can play each other, and you've got points, and you can tell us what you believe is the right picks to make, and we put that on a leaderboard for you. And then once you guys see who's got the best leaderboard and who's got the worst leaderboard and what his balance is, then you can start following the guys that's really good in their sport, because not everyone can be good in all sports, and there is 25 sports already. So by gamifying it, you can see who's the best in each way, and then you can follow that guy and just repeat his trades or his selections. But yeah, that's pretty cool. That's coming soon. And I've got all these other things that you guys should not worry about, but you've got your profile here and statistics and all the rest. And what else can I show you? Back to the dashboard. In the dashboard here, it's easy to link to all the different games. I showed you how to go to the future to see what's in there. All the American games is in there. I've showed you all the MVPs, and I've showed you the in-play, and I've showed you the sport, and the bar goes all the way to the right hand side with all of them here. That's where you'll find the latest tutorial, so do take a note of that as well. Here is if it's finished, then it pops in here, so let's just see how that's went. Okay, so we've been pretty good. We've got that one spot on, 3-2, 50% banked. We've got that one not spot on, but a win, 60% banked. We've got that one not only the 30% win, but also spot on, 3-1. So we're getting better. We're using artificial intelligence and AI and machine learning and everything else, and yeah, it's getting interesting. The idea is to be correct. That is the idea for us, is to get closer and closer to the truth, and that's why we use as much of these data points to get closer and closer to the truth, guys. So stick around, and yeah, it'll be fun. It's a fun adventure. Starting to use data, big data, now for the first time to make your predictions, not having to do the studying yourself. In horse racing, we already got 84 different rules that's weighted according to machine learning and artificial intelligence. So we're getting closer, and as it collects data, we are getting better and better and better, because we're fine-tuning those 15 MIC categories better to see the better relationship by tournament for each one of them to get to the closer to the truth. It's not an exact science, it never will be, but it is fun to get closer and closer to the truth. What I wanted to show you here as well is important to note this little minus 1.82 and minus 1.54 here is these ones, the head-to-head minus RSI end figure, which is this 1.82 figure here, is the exact same as the difference between the head-to-head end and the RSI end. That's why we call it head-to-head minus RSI end, head-to-head end minus RSI end. So that's that 1.82 figure as an average, and the 1.54 figure is the head-to-head minus RSI net figure, which says my head-to-head net was a 4.36 for the away team, but my RSI net is a 1.27 for the home team. So we are seeing that this gap is closing, but in total we still believe that the total average of those two of 1.54 still means that the one set that Medvedev should beat Kalachev by 3-2 in this example. So some pretty cool things. I hope this has helped you, and please do leave your comments down below. Tell us what you want more, what you want less. Tell us what we can do better, and tell us how we can help each other by getting closer and closer to the truth. So yeah, and if you want any of these videos going forward, just please click on that subscribe button and you will be notified of all the ones to come. Stay safe out there during these COVID times, guys, and I hope the tutorial was useful. We'll be doing one just now for the horse racing as well, because there were some very cool features now on the latest upgrade as well, and there'll be plenty more upgrades to come on the horse racing. We'll add American horse racing, we'll add Europe, UK horse racing, Singapore, Malaysia, Zimbabwe, Hong Kong, Australia. We're just sorting out the contracts with the data to get the data for us, because that's quite an expensive exercise. But as soon as we have that, then we can get going and supply you all those horse racing centers as well. Stay safe out there, guys, and hope you have a good Christmas festive season and a happy new year to all.